Okay, so here we have the tower, and this is going to be our starting point here. Uh, Now what you're going to do with the tower is turn it around to the back. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount our motherboard in here. So what you want to do is make sure you have your tools together. You want to have at least a Phillips screwdriver um, and a flathead occasionally, but usually mostly going to be a Phillips. And one thing about computers, parts, you never want to torque them out, you never want to over tighten any screws in computers because first of all, you can crack something very easily, especially on the board, or you can put it too tight and you're going to have a heck of a time getting it off later. So what we're going to do with this tower here is we're going to open it up so we can get to the area where we're going to place the motherboard because it has its own area. So usually on the towers, there'll be a couple screws like here on the back. Don't lose your screws, by the way, because you always want to have your tower sealed up really good because some people will take a screw out, lose one. I have one screw on there, and it's not really good to have too many screws missing on your tower because it doesn't help it. First of all, stay quiet because you get vibration, but you want to keep it nice and tight with the air consistency in there, and it keeps a lot of the dust out too. When you have a little gaps in there, you get more dust in there. Now, what you want to do, when this one right here, I just unscrewed the screws. You see the little grip here? I just grab the little lip here and just kind of pull it out, and you'll see the door lifts right off the side of the component, which is the tower. And just set this aside here. And that, notice it's got a little window on it. That's just for, so you can see the lights and everything that's going on in there. It's kind of cool. Plus you can see all your dust building up in there too. Anyway, you can see this is the inside. There's your fan. Here's your connections for going to be for your fan's power, this will all go to the motherboard. There's places in there for it. All these plugs here will be going to the motherboard as well once we get it set in there. Motherboard's very, very crucial that you set in the motherboard and secure it nicely, but not too tight, but it has to be set on these pegs here, as you can see them on the inside. You see there's one here, 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 another here. Now some boards have more than others depending, but your board, when you buy a motherboard for a computer tower, it has to be compatible with the tower you're getting because it might not have the screw slots for it. But 9 times out of 10, you usually will get pretty lucky on that, and you can find out ahead of time. Now, if you notice here, on this side's a little different. The reason why is because this door that I just took off is the access panel, so you can get into your tower when you need to clean it, you need to change parts out. But originally, when you put in your motherboard, you're going to have to usually do it just one time in a great while unless you burn out your motherboard. So these screws are a little different here, more little flats. I'm going to unscrew these ones out. I'm going to take them out at a time. They're pretty loose, so I just usually 1 or 2 screws right here. I'm going to take those out. That's one. And remember, keep all your screws somewhere where you know where they're at because you lose them. Computer screws are small, and then you'll be going crazy if you lose the screws. And some screws are made of certain metals that it's important not to lose those certain screws, because especially because some of them have small little washers you may not notice on them that will not conduct any type of a current on a motherboard or other components, so you don't short anything out. I usually will grab like a lid, or I use my toolbox here, or I'll use one of my trays in here if it's an empty one. I'm an electronics engineer, so I do things with a lot of electronics. You still got a lot of stuff there, but I'm still a junior engineer here. Anyway, I still have one of these trays. I keep your screws somewhere you know that. Okay, that's only 2, but if you do a lot of this later, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to pull this little lip out and see how it just kind of slides out. And one thing about anything with computers and anything in general, you never want to force anything because these will kind of slide out real easily. You can see how it's slotted in. You see the little slots down there on the bottom. You see now when you put it back, you can see the little ends sticking out there. Those are going to slot right into when you put it back in. I'll show you that in a minute. But what we're going to do right now is, like I said, we have to mount our motherboard. So this is the plate we're going to be attaching to, but we're going to be attaching on the other side. So what we want to do here is set this to its side, like so. I'll bring it down. Now most motherboards you can either take the side panel off and apply and put it on, or you can just apply it by laying it on the side like this. It all depends on the tower you have and what you already have in it. If it's not new, if you have stuff in it, it's going to be more of an inconvenience to tilt it on the side. Stuff's going to be in your way. But this is a brand new one, so we're pretty got a lot of space to work with in here. So basically what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to set the board down inside of there. Now, see how these are raised little pegs here? They're raised up because this is going to keep the whole motherboard from actually sitting on the metal itself. It's going to be supported and elevated off there through the little pegs here. So again, the motherboard is encased in an anti-static bag, as you can see here. So I'm going to put on my wrist strap, my anti-static wrist strap here. You can get these in any computer store. You can get them in most electronics stores. Maybe Radio Shacks should have them. They're not that expensive. You can make them yourself. Depends, you know. But you just got to make contact with your skin, and it has to ground out. I'm going to put that on real quick. Give me a second here. As you can see, it's a metal plate, and it's got a wire to it. Now this has to sit against my wrist, as you can see here, and this will discharge any static electricity